I'm Anna, I'm a junior, and my major is special education. I've been watching Survivor since I can remember. I'm honestly a pretty long time fan. I've always watched it with my family. We always are like screaming at the TV, being like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? But I guess we'll see how I do on the other side of it. I definitely am going to play more of a reserved game. I definitely don't think I could scream at people. I don't think they'll like me if I do that. I think one of my biggest strengths in the game would probably be that I can interact with a bunch of different personalities pretty well and get along with a lot of different kinds of people. Because especially in a game like this, like, you have to be willing to talk to anyone at any time. And even just sticking to an alliance, it can't even get you very far sometimes. Yeah, I think I definitely judge people's decisions when I'm watching, just because you can see all the sides of it. And I think that, yeah, I think that's probably why I scream the most. I definitely think watching this show is definitely easier because you see all the perspectives. Playing the show, I'm going to have to take totally a different approach because I have no idea what everyone else is thinking. And you don't even know if someone's talking about you behind your back. You have no idea unless you hear from someone else, but they could be lying to you. So you don't even know if that's true or not. I definitely think I'll have a strong social game. So I think that's definitely going to help. I feel like I can talk to anyone, kind of like mold myself to be able to talk to anyone. And I think that'll start getting me, at least at the beginning, like, people to be like, oh, okay, I like her. Like, I can see myself working with her in the future, hopefully. I hope I can lie a lot. I think that's honestly going to be one of my weaknesses, is that I'm not very good at lying. So we'll see if I can push myself. Since no one knows me that well, too, hopefully, they won't be able to tell if I'm lying or not. So, and hopefully, further into the game, I'll be better at it, too. A weakness, I think I'll probably trust too much. Like, I'll be a little bit too loyal, I think. Just because, if someone comes to me with information, with someone that I'm aligned with, and I don't know whether or not to trust it, and I go back to that person and talk to them, and I can't tell whether or not they're lying to me, I might just stick with their word over the other person's, and that can end up being a weakness for sure. I definitely think you have to be in alliances to win this game, or at least get far in the game. You definitely can't be by yourself because you need votes. You need, the more votes, the better, honestly. I'm not really sure who I want to align with yet, what kinds of people. I guess we'll see who I click with at first. But you definitely need an alliance, definitely. I think I'll work closer with the boys, but I honestly don't know. I could get along. I feel like I might end up having a bigger alliance with the boys and maybe having a final 2, final 3 with girls. I don't really know. I'm not sure how it'll go. Yes, definitely both. I think definitely both. Maybe. I honestly might do that. A little bit of both. Work with the boys and the girls. I'm not sure. Yes, girl power always. But I'm not going to be the person that's we need to get all the boys off, only girls, all that. I feel like that usually doesn't go well. On either side, the boys or the girls side, I feel like that usually doesn't work. Because you start to notice that all of a sudden, wait, there's only 2 boys left in our tribe, or there's only 2 girls left. I think definitely in the first half of the game, a successful strategy would be to kind of play more of the social game and just kind of, in the challenges, make sure that you're not, falling behind. You're not the one that's, making your team lose or, making you guys go slower, because people definitely do pick up on that, especially when the goal is to, win immunity for the whole tribe. But I definitely think after the merge, towards the second half of the game, that's when you got to start, doing bigger moves and also winning, your own immunity challenges so you have some kind of, profile for when you get to the end. I'm very excited to fly. I think that's going to be really fun. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I'm excited for that. I think that's, one of the key things you have to do to stay in the game. I actually don't think I have too much background in scheming, so I think this will be my first, big try at that, and especially seeing people lie to me and that kind of stuff too. So yeah, it's definitely going to be different, but I'm very excited. I survived a car crash. I'm ready to survive this game. Why am I a survivor? I've definitely been through a lot of interesting, at least family dynamics too, especially where you have one family member coming to you and they're oh, this other person in our family, they're talking about me, saying all this, and this, and you kind of have to be oh my gosh, yeah, they're totally doing that. So you gotta just kind of go with what they're saying without telling them how you feel about it, kind of, and then you get the other side, the other person in your family coming to you and saying the complete opposite, and you still have to be kind of in the middle about it and kind of wavering back and forth and kind of agreeing with them. I've had to do that a lot. Same with like my friends. My friends will like get in fights with each other, and I'm kind of like the moderator, and you kind of have to like do both. I like to gossip sometimes. Not all the time. I think sometimes it can get you in trouble, like if you're talking too much, because especially in Survivor where people can just go tell everyone else. Like literally seconds after you have a conversation with them, they can go talk about exactly what you said to someone else. So I think it's a fine line of like when you need to gossip versus when like it could help you with the game, kind of like flip other people. So I think it's a fine line, but I definitely do like to gossip sometimes. I definitely think I'm a good listener. I think I'm a better listener than I am like leader and like talker in that sense. And I'm better at like absorbing energy and remembering things about people. When they watch this, they're gonna be. I think I'm a really good listener. I hear my family members argue about each other to me all the time, and I just kind of have to like be in the middle. So my strategy for this game is to keep my mouth shut and definitely keep my ears open. I think that's a good approach because a lot of times when you talk a lot, it can kind of it makes you bury your own grave. You kind of get stuck with like the words that you said, even though I guess you can lie about it though and be like, I didn't say that. But I think it's better to listen and kind of intake what everyone else says and like who they want to target and kind of use that to build who you want to target instead of flat right out saying I want to go for this person. I would say that I would like to be tactical with my words, but I definitely speak before I think sometimes, so I guess we'll see how that goes. But I would like to, since I'm going to have so much time to like think beforehand before meeting up with people and having conversations, I'm hoping that that'll give me kind of like, I can give myself kind of like a layout on what I want to say in what order and that kind of stuff. But you never know, it could always change based on what other people say. Well, I'm a really picky eater, if that's anything. I don't like chocolate, I don't like ketchup, mustard, mayo, like any toppings. I eat everything like plain. If I have to eat bugs in this game, I think I could do it, honestly. I think I would just have to not think about it, just put it in my mouth, chew and swallow and get it over with. I think at first I won't be picky with who I work with, and it'll just kind of be like, I gotta like feel everything out, like get to know everyone and see like who I mesh with well, because I feel like you also have to like at some degree get along with people based on their personality and like their hobbies and that kind of stuff to some degree, because it's not all just game. You have to like kind of get to know the person too to be able to trust them. I'm a very big, like, I watch people too. Like, I'm a big, like, people watcher. And I think that that'll be helpful because I pick up on the little things, like when people are, like, you know, making faces at each other or, like, trying to say something under their breath. Or I can tell a lot when people are acting different too. And I think that'll definitely help on, like, to see, like, if people are acting different towards me, like, before the vote or that kind of stuff too. And, like, see if I need to flip something like that and change what I'm going for. But I think that's a big strength too. Well, as a special education major, I definitely have to be adaptable, because when you're like working with a kid and if they don't understand the way that you're teaching them, you have to change it and like kind of find a different approach to get them to understand what you're doing. But I'm definitely very patient too, because I work with kids, and that's like one of the main things. You have to be patient. If you're not patient, like they're not going to learn anything. So I think most patient. But I love doing that. It's my passion as of now. So yeah. I love Survivor because it's so intense. Like it's so much and you just get thrown into it all at once. But I think that's like the only way you can do it. You have to just get thrown into it, because otherwise if it's like baby steps or whatever, you might not play as hard. But I think when you're thrown into something, you got to go all out. I think for my tribe, I think I'll be pretty well-rounded. I think I'll be able to do decent in the challenges, and I think I'll be able to hopefully bring everyone together and kind of get everyone working as a team and like bringing people into the big group conversations like all together, just so that we can work together and win immunity. Honestly, the fact that other people can manipulate me kind of makes me a little nervous. I think that I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do at manipulating others, but I think that it might be kind of easy for others to manipulate me. So I got to definitely keep an eye out for that. But the prospect of it is fun, but I guess we'll see if I'm able to do that or not. I really like Boston Rob, but I feel like that's like everyone loves him. Like he's like everyone likes his personality, and he's a good game player. I like Tyson. He's a really good competitor. I think he's always been a good competitor. No, I didn't say her. I said, like, when we talked before, I was talking about how I liked Chris's move at the end.
Got it. You're right.
But I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite players. Parvati is an amazing player. She can manipulate anyone. She literally can just, it's crazy. I don't know how she does it. Yeah, easily. She can manipulate the men more than she can manipulate the women, I think.
Parvati?
I might have to manipulate the men a little bit. I think that, especially if I do align with them and there aren't many other like girls in the alliance, I think hopefully my opinion will have like a little bit of a stronger impact, and I can get like intel from the other girls and kind of not use it against them, but maybe use it against them. I'll flirt to get my wife. Yeah, I will. I think a lot of the time when you're talking to men in that kind of situation, what you say has more of like a impact if you're kind of being flirty about it. And especially if I find that they're like attracted to me, then that would make it way easier. I'm going to manipulate the men to get my way. I'm nervous for the game. I am very nervous, but I'm also very excited. I think it's going to be so much fun. Like, I've been thinking about it nonstop since we had my interview. I think Survivor is one of those games that just kind of takes over my brain. Like, I just have to think about it all the time, and I'm kind of just like, there's so many different approaches and ways you can go about things, and you never know how other people are thinking about it. So I could come up with one strategy, and 5 minutes later it could be useless. So you have to come up with like plan A, plan B, plan C, and like even more than just those, just to like get through 1 week.